Hey athletes, now we're talking about different ways you can change your push-up. So, the same rules apply with a push-up no matter what. Those rules are, we want our shoulders slightly in front of our wrists, right? Possibly over our hands. We want to make sure that our spines are nice and neutral. That way, we're always activating our pectoral muscles. Now, some of these you'll activate your chest more than others. Some will activate your triceps more than others. And that can be a very powerful thing. But we always have to remember shoulders over your hands and a nice flat core. So let's just see the standard push-up for reference. Right? I fall down, we got our nice angles here. My shoulder blades come together, my hips and my shoulders come down at the same rate, and they will rise at the same rate. I push up, I come down, I push up. They will go down and rise at the same rate. Now, let's see a few modifications. Bringing your hands in. We call this a diamond push-up or a close hand push-up. What this is going to do is this is going to put more emphasis onto your pecs, your boobies, okay? But again, nice flat back, shoulders over your hands. Okay? You can see the angles are still very similar at the bottom, except that my shoulders are going to be slightly rolled in order to make these new angles work. But by putting your hands close like this, again, you get way more chest activation. This makes it a little bit harder. Boom. So, going wider is also a way to change it up. Now, with your chest, this is going to hit, so let's just draw you a quick picture. So let's just say this is your shoulder, this is your boobie. Okay, so, shoulders and boobies. So before, with the standard, we were hitting way more from here and over, okay, towards your sternum, right? This is the center of your body. Your other boobie would be over here, right? So we're hitting this area more. Now, by bringing your hands in closer, you hit that area even a little bit more and less in the shoulder. But now, by widening our hands, we're going to be hitting more where your shoulder and your pec minor come together, okay? Not saying this is bad, okay? We're just not going to be hitting near your sternum as much. We're going to be working less of your chest here, but again, it's a modification. Going a little wider. Now notice, even at the bottom, I'm still trying to have this same angle, right? Or at least somewhat similar. That way my arm can brace up against my back. I can have good scapula contractions, and that way I can still use my chest so that my hips and shoulders rise at the same rate. And boom. Now, let's start using objects. So, I can put my feet on something in order to make myself make it a little harder on my chest. So, by taking my feet off the ground, I'm putting more downward pressure onto my chest. Now, something to consider, talking about your boob again, the higher we lift your feet, the less of your chest we're actually going to hit. So, imagine I put your feet up against a wall and you were doing a handstand push-up. You're going to just barely get the top of your pec, and you're going to get a lot more shoulders. So again, the higher your feet, the less and less of your pec we're going to get. Okay, that's why on a dip, your feet are right under you. That's why you get so much activation in your chest, is because your feet are actually lower. So, standard width, and you can use any width you would like with your feet up. I'm just trying to show you that by putting your feet on something, we can make it a little tougher. So you can go hands in, hands out, whatever. Another way I like to make things harder is to get even more chest activation. So I'll use a ball, even though this ball is a little squishy. Now you can see I angle my fingers down. This keeps my hands really narrow. It takes a lot of the pressure away from my wrist. This is a huge chest activator. I put my chest on the ball, and it's a huge chest activator. So, let's say we want to make this a little tougher. Again, I can put my feet on this box and put my hands on the ball. Now remember, this is going to hit a little higher in my chest. I'm going to get set, brace my core, shoulders stay in front of my hands, and shoulders and hips rise at the same rate. Again, this is going to put a lot more emphasis into my chest. And again, the more hard you make these, the less repetitions you can expect yourself to get. All right, let's move that out of the way. Now let's talk about raising your hands up. So a lot of the times I'll put your hands, or you'll put your hands on a box or on a bar or something like that to take pressure away from your chest. But by adding in these kettlebells here, or dumbbells, or push-up bars, whatever, you're going to be able to increase your body's range of motion, okay? So from here, same rules apply. I even angled the kettlebells, right? They're at a slight angle so that I can get in the same position. Now, compared to the push-ups before, my shoulder is much lower than my elbow, okay, than it was before. Now, we really need to make sure you're nice and solid here, that you're getting some back contractions, because you can go too low. I'm not necessarily trying to get my shoulder to touch my hand, because again, that would put a lot of pressure where I don't want it. I still want this to activate my chest, but this allows me to essentially go beyond where I could if I were going on the floor. I can go just a little bit lower. I'm being nice and safe, and again, my shoulders stay beyond my hands. So, if you want to make that a little bit tougher, again, you can put your feet on a box, or what I'm doing right now, you can grab a ball. So you don't have to use these kettlebells in order to do it, but I'm just showing you a new way to make it tough. By putting your feet on a ball, not only are you raising your feet up a little higher, putting it more in the top part of your chest, this is a great way to modify what I call an incline bench press, okay? Because you're just trying to affect the top part of your chest to get a more full chest. Again, by putting your feet up a little higher, we'll hit that. By putting your feet on a ball, you have to control the ball with your core and your feet while doing a push-up. Now, you might not get as much chest activation here, but you're going to get a lot more core activation and a lot more stabilizing muscles. So again, same deal. Now, you notice there at the bottom here, my hips are a little bit higher than they were in the past. And why is that? It's so that I can stabilize the fact that this ball is a lot higher than where my hands and my shoulders are going. So yeah, my butt has to be up a little bit. Otherwise, if I were to drop my butt down some, you'd see a huge sway in my back in order to make those angles work. And again, I put my feet on the ball for the sole purpose that my transverse abdominis, right below my belly button, just to make sure that that turns on more. So, that's great and all. Now, the ultimate, I would say, is putting your hands on a ball. Ultimate chest activation. So by putting your hands on the medicine ball, that hard one from before, it allows me a nice surface to push against. This ball squishes, this ball likes to roll. This can really help you activate your chest, especially if you're an athlete that has troubles going from your knees to going on your toes. This will allow you to take some of the pressure off of your chest by putting your hands up, but require more from your core, again, helping you bridge that gap. So, I'm pushing on the ball, and I'm being really aggressive and abrupt when I come up. Now, once that gets easy, what you can do is you can pull the ball into your chest. I drive away, I pull it to my chest, and then I snap the ball back to the ground. That way, my triceps have to take this activation. My chest has to activate really, really aggressively in order for me to have a straight arm, okay? If that's really easy, you can easily put your feet on something. And again, by putting your feet on something, you're now a little bit closer to what it'd be like on the floor. But again, by putting your hands on the ball, we get a little bit more instability. Now, as I push up, I'm trying to bring my hands toward one another. I'm literally trying to squish this ball and bring my palms together like I'm trying to clap my hands. Nice neutral spine. I push my hands together. Now, lastly, this is just for fun. You can always put your feet on a ball and your hands on a ball. So not only does your core have to activate more by putting your feet on the ball, you have to stabilize the fact that these two objects are wanting to roll all over the place, and you still want to be able to do a push-up. So notice here, it takes me a second to get set. Once I'm set, I can do my push-up, pushing up and away. And again, those are just, especially this last one, it's kind of just a neat trick. It's very tough to do, certainly, but These are some ways that we can activate our chest. So, hopefully that helps you guys out. Try out a few of these push-up variations. Again, this is a great way to continue to challenge your body without having to use a bunch of weight. I'll see you next time.